Hey everyone, sorry that I am out today. I have recorded the rest of our notes so we do not fall behind. And then I have also for you something on paper. Okay, Miss Cotton will give that to you. It is a legislative branch what do you call it? Graphic organizer, okay, that helps you visualize the legislative branch. If you need any help filling that out, you can reference back to this video or all of the notes filled out in case you missed any are posted along with your guided notes now, okay? So you'll have your guided notes posted on under week 17 and my notes will be posted with that. So go to that link if you need it, okay? You will also have a worksheet posted for you in Google Classroom. That will be called Legislative Powers Worksheet. Okay, you'll be using your textbook for that. Let me know if you have any questions or need anything with that. You'll start on page 174. There's 10 headers posted on the assignment, okay? They coincide with headers posted in the textbook. So for instance, question number 1 says taxes and spending. You'll go to page 174. There's a heading that says taxes and spending, and you'll summarize the powers that the legislative branch has in regards to that. Okay, so again, you're watching my video. You are doing the printed out worksheet and you are completing the assignment on Google Classroom. If you have any questions, let me know. Let's get into it. We are taking a look at the Senate. That's the last thing on the House of that last thing in the legislative branch. We've already taken a look. The legislative branch is called Congress, and it is made up of the House of Representatives, which we looked at. That is based on state population. The Senate is the other side of that. The Senate is called the upper house and has 100 members. That means each state has equal representation with 2 senators in it. Let's say you want to be a senator. What do you need to do to be a senator? You got to be 30 years old. You need to be a citizen of the U.S. for 9 years. You need to be a legal resident and live in the state that they represent. That makes sense. It would make no sense for me to go represent the people of Wyoming. I don't know what the people of Wyoming need. Okay, so you got to be a legal resident and live in the state that they represent. Senate sessions, they begin in January of odd-numbered years. That's because we have elections in even-numbered years. So 2020 was our last election, okay? People didn't take office until January of 2021, though, okay? You are in the Senate for 6 years, okay? Because it is made up of 6 one-year sessions. So you're a senator for 6 years. The Senate's different, though. It's not every 6 years we get a whole 100 new members. Instead, every 2 years, 1/3 of the Senate is up for re-election. We call that a continuous body, okay? So roughly every 2 years, we elect 33 new senators. Keeps the Senate a little bit more stabilized, okay? In the Senate, most senators win re-election. Okay, it's just like the House of Representatives. If someone's going up again, they usually win re-election. They got name recognition. People know their name, they vote for them. If a senator dies, a governor has 2 options, okay? So this is kind of interesting because this is where we combine state governments along with the federal government because the senators are a part of the federal government. They represent the state, but they go, remember, to D.C., so they're part of the federal government. So if a senator dies, the governor has 2 options. Appoint someone to fill the vacancy, okay, so they would just pick someone, or they can hold a special election. It kind of determines how far into a term that a senator is on how that governor is going to make that decision. Okay, so let's take a look at our Ohio governors. Right now we got Senator Sherrod Brown and Senator Rob Portman. Okay, they're over here. They're who we've got in the Senate right now. Let's take a look at Senate duties, okay? So these are things that the Senate specifically does, powers that only the Senate has. Because remember, their main goal, just like the House of Representatives, to get laws passed. However, they got some other duties as well. These are the ones that are special just to the Senate. They approve all presidential appointments. Okay, so the president gets to appoint certain people into their positions. The Senate gets to approve them. So they give advice and consent. That's what it's called, to those presidential appointments. The big one is Supreme Court justices. So if the president nominates a Supreme Court justice, okay, they don't want them to just be able to nominate all their friends. So you have to come through and get it approved by the Senate. They also ratify and approve all treaties, okay? They try impeachment cases. So let's say someone is impeached. Remember, impeached does not mean guilty. Impeached just means that there's enough evidence to proceed with a trial. If that is the case, then it goes forward and the trial actually happens with the Senate. The Senate serves as jury and judge in all cases except the president. So remember, impeachment doesn't just happen with presidents either. It can happen with other political positions as well. The only time that it's kind of special is with that presidential impeachment, though. And that is, they do not serve as the judge then. They just serve as jury, and the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court comes over and serves as judge. So let's take a look at the Senate at work. So remember, each state has 2 senators that are equal. They got to be really knowledgeable on a lot of issues that affect their states, okay? Because they're not representing a small district of a state like a representative is. They're representing the whole state. So they got to know about all the issues on the state. Typically, only a few senators attend the session. And the way the Senate is set up, if you look at this photo down below, there's 100 desks facing the front of the room, which is where the head of the Senate, which is called the Senate pro tempore, sits. Okay? In the Senate, they're a lot less structured than the House of Representatives. They got a lot of time to debate, a lot of time to talk. There's a lot less members, so they can do that. Leadership in the Senate is also a little bit different because the main leader of the Senate is the vice president, okay? They preside over the Senate. However, that's basically all they do. They can only vote if there's a tie, because there's 100 members in the Senate, so it could go 50-50. They cast the tie-breaking vote. But they can't participate in any debates or anything like that. They are just there as a tiebreaker. I'm sure, as you can imagine, the vice president's busy. They can't attend all the meetings. So, excuse me, the president pro tempore is who stands in their place if the senator can't be there, okay? They are the leader of the Senate if the vice president is not there, and they're elected from the majority party. Remember, we talked about majority and minority parties? Majority party is the party that has more members in it. Minority party is the party that has less members in it. So I'm talking about Democrats and Republicans when I talk about parties. Usually they're just the longest serving members, like the oldest person in that party. Okay, after the vice president and president pro tempore, we also got minority and majority party leaders in the Senate, okay? And the majority leader would come out of that majority party. Currently, it is the Democrats, and minority party leaders come out of the minority parties. Currently, it's Republicans. It can flip the moment we elect new senators. These leaders are elected by their party members, and they basically make sure they're carrying out their party's agenda and making sure they're scheduling things, okay? Majority leaders get support for bills and make sure that those bills are actually getting passed because they got the majority. They can get things passed a little bit easier. Minority leaders, since they can't get stuff passed quite as easily because they do not have the majority in a vote, critique that majority party and try and keep their party united, okay? Our current majority leader is Chuck Schumer. He is a Democrat out of New York, and our minority leader is currently Mitch McConnell. He is a Republican out of Kentucky. So, lawmaking in the Senate. All you need is a simple majority, okay, to pass a bill. So how many is that? That is 1/2 plus 1. That is 51 members. So that is the same number you need for a quorum or people present for a vote, okay? So 51 to get a bill passed into a law. Any senator can introduce a new bill. So unlike the House of Representatives, where it's the Speaker that has to introduce them, any senator can introduce it. The only time you need what's called a supermajority or 2/3 vote is when they need to override a veto, remove an official that has been impeached, or approve a treaty. Okay, so that's where it changed from 51 to 66. 66 is a supermajority. So that's for vetoes, removing impeached officials, or approving a treaty. Okay. Lawmaking continued. So remember, any senator can bring up a bill. They just got to have what's called unanimous consent, where they all agree to discuss an issue. Okay. They can also put bills on hold. So I don't know if you're thinking this, but this is what I'm thinking at this point. Whoa. Okay, if all you need is 51 votes to get a bill passed, how does the majority party, so the party that has at least 51, if not more members, just get everything passed they want to get passed? And that would be a great question if you're asking yourself that right about now. And the answer to that is filibustering. So a filibustering is a way for that minority party or the party that doesn't have enough votes to get a bill stopped can defeat a bill in Congress or defeat a bill in the Senate. And it used to be called talking a bill to death. And that is a pretty good name for it because that is quite literally what they do. They talk a bill to death. So it's become much more common and easier now, and it prevents that final vote on a bill from being taken. Let me explain what this is. A filibuster is when a senator stands up there and talks 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 and talks. Okay? Now, the Senate, you can talk for as long as you like. The only time that you can stop a person from talking is when you can get that majority vote, or 66 people to cast a vote. It's called a cloture to get someone to stop talking. Okay? Now you're thinking, oh no, but what if you only have 51 members as the majority party, okay? You're probably not going to get 15 members from that minority party over to your side and get their side to stop talking. So instead, you would just all have to agree for the bill to die, okay? Because you won't get enough people to cast a vote to get that person to stop talking, but you also can't cast a vote until they're done talking. So basically, you just let the bill die then, okay? So you need the 60 senators to pass the cloture resolution to end a filibuster. So you're thinking, how can someone talk about something for that long? They don't need to talk about the bill. They can talk about whatever. They just got to stand up there. They got to stay on the Senate floor, and they got to stay standing, and they just got to keep talking. Our longest filibuster was 24 hours straight. A senator talked for 24 hours straight. And then they ended up deciding to let the bill die, okay? He actually stuck a bucket in a coat closet so he could always keep one foot on the Senate floor, and he peed in the bucket, okay? That's really gross. But it's pretty effective to ending those bills that you may not have enough votes to cast against it, okay? If you want to watch a filibuster in action, I have a link posted in your guided notes. You're more than welcome to watch that. But that is all the notes that I have for you today. Remember, you had to finish this video, which hopefully you did, okay? You have to complete the graphic organizer on paper, and you need to complete the assignment post in Google Classroom. Please email me if you have any questions.